Did anybody sign any up for public participation? Okay, at this time, I would like to ask if there are any board member issues. However, I know that we went to the new board member training and we got a letter from Randy with a lot of things that he wants to discuss, and I think that's going to be a lengthy discussion, so I'd like to save that until after we take care of business, so that if we want to stay all night, we can stay all night, but we'll have to take care of business. So,
I got one about the buses coming up through from Russell. Basically, it's a long-term deal. They're slowing down so they can get here on time. Is there some other way we can, either Frank's got to change their time when they leave, so they're not driving 28 miles an hour from Russell to the school, or, adjust the time somehow, or let them come up here and get into the circle.
that seems like that's always an issue with somebody getting earlier. Why, those bus drivers that get here earlier, why don't they just leave a little bit?
And that's what each time that it is seen, whether it was last year or this year, the drivers would go out and say, leave 5 minutes later, leave 10 minutes later. And I know Frank has done that in writing this year to several drivers. And they just keep creeping back earlier.
And one other question, I understand that you hold the kids and people from the back parking lot out there where they come to the stoplight. Is that, or stop sign, is that for as soon as the buses come out, or is that,
They're not, they can't go out at all.
they can't go out at all?
And that was, we had somebody almost get run over last year. And that's when they instituted doing that.
Well,
So that the high school kids aren't racing to get to their car and get out before the buses go.
then what they're doing
As well as
is,
backward.
then what they're doing is racing. Once they get out on the road, they're passing 2 or 3 cars and then a bus. So,
And what the police said to us, then that's their issue to deal with, but if somebody's getting hit in our parking lot because we're not monitoring it safely,
okay,
then it becomes the school's issue, which is, we did talk about it at several board meetings last year. Just,
Okay.
but that was their take, that anybody can call them in, the drivers can call them in, and there's been tickets given out on that road before.
yeah,
And we do try to talk to the students and warn them, don't do this.
okay.
A question or a comment, and maybe you already did this, but from what we understand, they changed the law for having seats for students on buses, that you don't have to have a single seat for every single student.
Right.
That's what we were at over the weekend. So are we doing anything to kind of track our afternoon and morning bus runs to see if there's any efficiencies or anything to gain from having, I don't know what the bus situation is, if there's a lot
But
of...
you can't have C and Ds, so if you don't have a seat for them.
But, so some kids don't fully ride the bus in the morning.
Okay.
So I guess, from what I understand, the law used to be that you had to have a seat for every all the students had to have 1,000 seats. And if you only had 500 students riding the bus, it didn't matter. The bus never happened. I don't know what our situation is.
Right, we started doing that last year, which is how we ended up merging one of the routes, and switching some kids around to kind of balance things out. Ron, Michelle, and I went out, I don't know how many times last year, different points of the year, and said, how many kids are riding that bus, and we went out, and kept keeping track of it. You obviously get more kids riding in the morning than in the
Sport
afternoons.
programs and stuff.
And that was one of the things that we had listed as a possible cost saving needs.
And I know, our district is having to plan on public transportation because no one wants to.
Right.
Something there. Another question I have, unless somebody else has something that I want to bring up, I want to hog the show.
You're good.
It's getting holiday event time. It's been smooth. And I would suspect that we'll probably have a holiday program for kids scheduled, or we will be scheduling, or
We're scheduled.
they're all scheduled, okay, so I'm probably behind a little bit. I have a comment. Last year, I attended the holiday program, and it was 3 or 4 grades together.
It's actually all grades.
And 3 or it seems like.
Correct.
And the auditorium was absolutely packed. And it was actually packed to the point where it was,
It's already been dealt with. And Ron, if you want to explain, rather than going through the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was awful. I mean,
it was.
no one expected to have that many people there. There were probably 50 people that could not get
It
seats.
was very unusual.
And
It was
that's,
very dangerous, was my worry.
well, it's something that we had never done before, so I'll let you pick up from here, Ron.
The program is Thursday, December 1st. It's at 6:30, kind of the same time frame. A few changes have taken place to hopefully alleviate all of that situation we had last year. First change is that the 5th and 6th grade band and chorus concert was also the same night, immediately followed. That's been completely separated. So what we saw is once the holiday program for pre-K to 4 was over, there were still the auditorium was still probably a 4th to 5th full, which accounted for 100, 125 people, which might not have been there normally. So that's been separated, so hopefully that's going to alleviate part of it. We've also gone to 2 performances, one in the afternoon, one in the evening, and the committee has already sent out the letters to the parents, you probably have one, indicating how many tickets would you like? Would you like for the afternoon, the evening, combination of both? As of today, we have, I believe, this afternoon was like 240 some requests for tickets for the evening, and well over 100 tickets for the afternoon. Again, thinking that there are probably 100 to 150 people maximum that were out in the hallway, I think we've already alleviated the severe congestion that we had. One of the things in our faculty meeting we also discussed this afternoon was for the people who, and we are also going to contact families. I think the deadline to reply for tickets is 21st of November.
So is there, I can't remember if my wife does all this, but the tickets are required now to?
Yes, they are.
Oh, okay.
So one of the things that's going to happen is we're going to take a look at the families that have responded
Okay.
and personally make calls to those that have not and ask, are you planning on coming? If so, that way we have a better handle on the situation as well. One of the things that we have talked about, and we're not sure about the feasibility of it, is in case we still get people who show up who either didn't know or for whatever reason, is there a way that we can do a closed caption video into the cafeteria? I don't know about the feasibility of that, but if it's something that we can do, we're certainly going to try. So I think we've addressed a lot of the issues already.
It's good, because I was really concerned.
Right.
Was it in the newsletter that I saw?
It should have been in the
Something
newsletter.
like
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And I think last year too, it was there was a basketball game, or there was something else going on.
There was a makeup basketball game. Unfortunately, given the time of year it is, I honestly don't know if there's a game scheduled, and if there's not, who's to say that there won't be one rescheduled? You know, unfortunately, the 80s pretty much have to take the first night that's available. God only knows what the weather's going to be through the rest of the season.
Sure.
But again, alleviating that congestion in terms of not having the musical concert immediately following, I think will help take care of a lot of that situation. Parking's going to be a nightmare, no matter how we slice it.
How many does our auditorium hold?
575.
We also, one of the other issues, and I don't know if you said this, I'm sure you will, but people saving seats, obviously was a severe problem, because people literally would not take their stuff off the seats. I had gone in and talked to many people, and they said, well, we were here saving seats first, and there's people standing back that couldn't sit. So that was a very difficult situation as well.
And we are going to be helping usher people down again. We need to make sure, again, with only 575 seats, it's a very good sized auditorium for our size district. However, you know, when you have a big event like this, there's no such thing as big enough.
Good, glad to hear we're taking steps to try to avoid that. Thank you.
Are there any other board member issues?